guys, welcome back. I actually managed to find a replay that I can do one on, and actually this is with one of my friends back in the day of old school ROC, so this is just kind of a nostalgic kind of game, and well, as for the rest of the stuff, I guess you're going to see that in a little bit. But first, let's get this paused at the 15-second mark at the 1x speed. About this match getting started, I hope you guys are at that 15-second mark at that 1x speed, and we can get this started right away. Let's get this unpaused in 3 seconds, and let's do this. 3, 2, 1, unpause. Alrighty, let me turn the sound effects off so you guys don't hear a bunch of crap in the background. And what are we doing here? This is obviously a 2 vs 2, obviously on Twisted Meadows. And we are up against it's a clan that used to be on West. As you can see by the dialogue here, they moved from the West to the East. This is Clan Dive. And what else can I mention about the clan? Well, me and Noob Lee have faced them before in I think a 1G league. I don't know. It was just some odd league. I remember facing them. Pretty good team. And me and Sick Beelzebub, that's a Smurf that he's on. That's, I think just a game with me on that name, I believe. But don't take my word for it. But he's an old friend of mine, so you're like, let's play some games, just for the hell of it. And this is actually one of 2 of the strategies that I told you guys that I came up with. This is freaking imbalanced as hell. I really wouldn't say imbalanced. I'd just say really hard to manage, because, well, a good way to counter it is getting basically the same exact thing against it. Unless you want to make, well, I'll tell you a little bit as the game goes on. So how do we get this started? I send out one of my wisps to scout out, as you can see from my build right here. I am getting a neutral hero from the Ancient of War. I just started on my altar. Well, not just started, I'm at about 80%. Anyways, I checked out Ratty's base. He has got his Keeper of the Grove. I knew it was either a Potomer or Keeper of the Grove. There's really wasn't putting my money on a Demon Hunter, especially with an undead ally, or a Warden, because that's not really too big into the 2s, only against dual undead. So best possible choices were those 2. Just trying to get myself out of the way of that wisp. My archer trying to do as much as I can, and it detonates, just hits the tail end of my Beastmaster. Could have done a better job running out of the way, but oh well, 50 mana. Can still pop out a few Quill Beasts, which is all I really need at this point. So here we go, we're going to get this started. He sends out his Keeper of the Grove, and it's sort of hard for this type of team, the dive team that they're doing, because you got to just send this single Keeper of the Grove out that just had its abilities nerfed. So it's not really too strong of a harassment. The most that they can do is just try to use an entangle on one of your archers, one of your wisps. He's doing the archer right now. And my human ally, what is he getting? He got his foot of accuracy off of those creeps right now. Just went to go pick up that item. He doesn't really... Sometimes he'll go and try to pick up a... clear out all the creeps, get his level 2. But right now, when he saw this harassment coming, and then now with the undead starting to come to my base, now it'd be pretty cool if he came by, help me out for a little bit. So, what am I doing now? I'm just making sure my archers are out of the front line, not taking any huge hits. Whenever I get the chance, I try to run him back a bit. It was entangled, so that one little archer you're seeing there, I try to keep it alive as long as I can, trying to bring it into a well here. Doesn't really happen. So I'm waiting. I was about to detonate another wisp, just in case that Keeper of the Grove decided to pull off another entangle. I can detonate that right away and pick off those 2 skeletons. But we managed to try to shoot them out of the way here. And our next step in our creeping, that'll be one of our shops. Now, as for the buildings that we're getting, I have started on my tech right now. I'm only getting out of my Ancient of War. I open up with archers. Now, the reason why is because of the strong beginning that you have. If you're pretty good with it, with these archers, I mean, in not really putting them up into the front line. I could have done a lot better of a job, to be honest with you guys, with those archers. I could have just kept them back into my base and just tried to put a hide on them. Usually in twos, when I'm starting with my archer dots, what I'll do with my archers is, if I know there's a pocket of trees where I have my wisps at, I'll usually have some moonwells near the area. And I'll just put archers there and hold position so the Death Knight can't reach those wisps to attack them. It's one of the things I can do. So anyways, we have our first battle here. I do get Bear's second, because after all, you know, you do have the Brilliance Aura, you can use all that stuff. And then, and I picked up those healing wards too, so if this battle gets too ugly, or if we suffered a lot of damage afterwards, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Now, my archers, on the other hand, those took a lot of hits by these hunts. Those are dropping pretty fast. And those fiends are doing the same job on these huntresses. I take too long of a time to hide it out of the way. To be honest with you, we shouldn't be fighting this battle into the middle. What we should be doing, we should be trying to creep here. And here we go. I'm at least trying to shoo them off for now. Notice how we're both hitting onto their heroes. The Death Knight, very, very weak. The Keeper of the Grove, even weaker. Makes it a lot easier for us to manage a battle when the heroes are trying to get out of the way. And sometimes we can get some opportunities to hit some of these fiends. If you look at those fiends, they're rather weak. The Death Knight just milked out all his mana to do that. But either way, with both of us taking a lot of damage, we're just going to try to back out of the way a little bit. Not going to immerse ourselves way too much into this. After all, they do have dual crypt undead. That's a lot of fiends, and you're going to see how that little mistake of fighting that battle a little too long into this middle of the map, makes it a little more difficult with me. God, I keep on messing up my words here, I swear to God. But, second hero, Firelord. Both of us, the human player and the Night Elf player, you want to get your tech down at around the same time, and best thing to do if you're not really sure how to time it out right, just tell your ally, you know, hey, I just started the tech now, so the other player can maybe cancel a unit so you can start up on that tech right away, because the sooner you get that Firelord out there, the sooner you can break out this combo and really get yourselves in good shape. So this is looking pretty bad for us. If you look at it, now you can see how that battle into the middle of the map really started to take its toll for the fact that we're really lacking on the units right now. However, this strategy can handle a lot of that damage. It can handle a big hit into the middle where you take a lot of damage, and you'll see why in just a little moment. Now, these healing wards that I have, pretty hard to use when both of our armies aren't next to each other. So the healing wards are sort of out of the option here. I'm trying to run back. I'm trying to meet up with my human ally here. But now that he brought some of his army closer to mine, I'm starting to try to keep an edge onto that Keeper of the Grove. I'm trying to weaken it a little bit, because at this point into the game, I was very much worried that we were going to really bomb out on this battle. So my Firelord, my bear blocks a damn Firelord, and he's probably going to coil it. There we go. Coiled Firelord. Stroke nails that thing pretty well. But the trade was a lot better, though. Level 1 for a level 2 Keeper, and for a hero that just came out. So, as those fiends try to run out of the way, I'm just going to focus onto them. The Death Knight comes up a little bit to the front, heals that up. Either way, it's still a very wise move to move that Death Knight up there so you can share that aura so you can run out of the way a little faster. So here's where you can start to see our combo really starting to overflow them. We're going to start to get a few more sorceresses, sorcerai, however you want to say it. Hell, I don't remember. But the human player, if you're short on wood, don't worry about it. Usually your ally will have enough. And at this point into the game, well, since we took a lot of hits, what we're going to do, we're going to both stack up on our healing scrolls a little bit, just to kind of secure us, just to make sure that we have plenty of healing, actually. And you can hear us just saying our plans right here. So we want to gain a little bit more levels on our heroes, and the skills for the Firelord, one of them goes for Incinerate, The other one will go for soul burn. Usually the human player, it doesn't matter. Just have one person on your team designated for this, the person that's getting the soul burn. Now, the person, probably, I would recommend for probably the human player to get the incinerate, because you have all that ranged units, and that'll just help with when you start to focus fire, because usually in a battle you'll be paying attention to your own army. No problem. But I think in this game, Beelzebub got the thing. Did he get soul burn? That's the thing. It's basically a singled out silence. It's a cripple almost, and it's just deadly. And you're going to see that take its toll right now. We're going to use the soul burn onto the Death Knight whenever we get within range. These wisps that Ratty brings out there, those will detonate. Just drain out our casters. It's going to really suck for us. They're bringing a bunch of wisps, especially for all these summons. That seems to be a viable solution to them, but as they are bringing those wisps out there, I knew that they were going to pay a little bit of attention into breaking our caster line, just trying to drain them out, and also getting rid of that healing ward. That healing ward really didn't do crap for us. And what I'm getting, any switches, if this game keeps going on, what we will do is I'll get Mountain Giants, because after all, I do have my shop, because you want to have that shop, because you're getting the Beastmaster and a Firelord. Both of them love to consume mana, and they don't really have a big capacity, so you want to get a shop right away. Now, here's probably the decision that is going to decide the game. We looked at the Undead's army. He doesn't have a portal. And what we're going to do first, we're just going to cripple the Night Elf player, deal as much damage as possible. Now, we're just going to chase after his Tree of Life right here, just so we won't have to worry about any town portals. No way that Ratty's going to fight that battle out. He can't. His undead ally is way too far away, so they're just going to head towards the human's base. He TP's in there. The reason why I stay back there, well, right now it's just a one-on-one, and we just kind of came off really good on our battle, so we really shouldn't worry too much about my human ally here having any problems until the Night Elf comes along. And here's a big mistake that Purple made. He detonated all those wisps, and he eliminated any chance of him getting back into this game. So here we go. Yellow meets up with us. Purple meets up with pink. There we go. So he's really having some problems here, so that's when I come in. That's when I make my move. Both of our armies are very close. That's what we plan on keeping it. All that I'm making sure is that my Huntresses are fighting Huntresses and not Huntresses on Fiends, where they will take damage very, very fast. But Pink still seems to have the good idea of what units to hit. He's in the Dryad, so I'm moving them back a bit. That shifts his whole line. Kind of a little awkward position. But what we do, as you can see, that Soul Burn, once again in the Death Knight, we can kill as many Fiends as we want. They won't be healed. And the Keeper of the Grove starting to take their shots as well. He's getting very weak. And the good thing is that Soul Burn also does massive amounts of damage over time. So it's like a wicked version of Shadow Strike. So, as he was running out of the way, the human player will use it slow, manually, on these Fiends as they're trying to make a run for it. Pink, pretty smart of him, he's just making sure his Death Knight is within aura range, so the Fiend can be a little safe. See, he's running closer and further away from it, just making sure he's in great shape here. So, we can't really get too overconfident right now. We don't know, well, we did take a quick glimpse of this Undead's base, but we do know that they have a bunch of tricks up their sleeve that they can do. They have a lot of Fiends right now. I have a lot of Unarmored. And we just want to make sure that we don't make any big mistakes, because after all, usually this game will be over by the time we have that Firelord out there. I'll have a level 3 Beastmaster, I'll have those big bears out there ready to go. And you want to get your bears next because they're harder to dispel, just in case they're suspecting the strategy and let's go Let's go a bunch of Dryads. You can get Dispel. Well, the second you reach Tier 2, they're not going to have that much to Dispel. So, really won't do too much. Anyhow, I catch sight of the Keeper. I'm just trying to keep it in its little spot right there. I get it kind of weak. The Death Knight comes out there, saves it with the Aura. No problem, it's very weak. It'll just cost him a little bit more to give him some more hit points. So, what are we doing? I'm just creeping. I'm just getting a few more Mountain Giants. Getting my Tier 3 so I can get a little stronger Mountain Giant action there. Nothing really too crazy that I can mention to you guys. Here's where you can see how I was saying that, yeah, if you see that they're still going a bunch of piercing, get a little anti-piercing. Get some Mountain Giants, if the game even lasts that long. As I said before, this game is lasting fairly long because of those mistakes that we made mainly into the middle of the map. Alright, so after we're finishing off the Night Elf base, making sure that there's nothing left, we're going to check out some spots for the expansions. We're just basically making it so this battle would be no sweat to us. Sure, right now we can fight this battle, and hell, we can probably win it. But, I don't know, this was like the first couple games that I was playing with this player here, and I just wanted to make sure we were in great shape. So, it seems like we're in great shape right now, so that's what we're going to do. And they were very well prepared for us to attack soon. So he's had all those treants summoned out there. And the human player for his third hero, if you didn't notice it right now, he did get a Beastmaster, just for more summons for you guys. And it is freaking crazy. This is the only replay that I ever had of the strategy that really made it into the late game. So obviously they won't do so great into this battle, and that's a good game for that. But this is sort of a unique replay for the fact that, yeah, you get to see sort of how this strategy develops into the later game. All the other replays I have of this, guys, just go towards the second we get Tier 2. Alright, that's game. There's nothing else. There's a bunch of summons. They can't do crap against it unless they got the same strategy. And then it's just a micro battle from there. And so, that's pretty much a summary of that replay. I do have a few more of that, and that other strategy that I was talking about that's friggin' broken as hell. Maybe I can get an audio on that one for you guys next. But this was one of those 2 versus 2 strats that I was talking about. And with you guys, some of you might be very happy to hear this, but the Cecil and Fear team is back. We are back. Fear just got into GGL. Congratulations goes out to Fear. And we are planning, come latter Season 2, we are taking back that damn rank that we once had. We're actually a team that held rank 1 the longest out of all teams. I guess we're like the record holder for it, or some odd reason or something. See you all later, and I'll see some of you at the next LAN. I'll see you guys.